YouTube, 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 YouTube. You just can't stay out of the dead zone, can you? But this isn't funny business. This is serious, meaning the snake, the sassy snake. But in all honesty, in all seriousness, YouTube screwed up. Bad. Saw the title, you should already know what I'm probably going to talk about. Well, people have already talked about it. I was debating if I should talk about it. But then last week, before I went back to my college, I said, I'm going to make a video. But I wanted to see if it will get better in the span of a week. See if it gets better, and if it does, and it doesn't come back up, I won't. Because it's then just out of the picture. It didn't get out of the picture. Which Jack made a video, which I'll talk about later, meaning something that happened. He also discusses something else, and then I saw someone else's video that discussed a topic that I didn't know. So, following what Jack said, if you more people keep talking about it, the more it will get, it may get fixed. And I think this is something that needs to be fixed. So, let's start this problem. What started the domino effect of the people talking about this? It all started with a Corey Kenshin video from like a week or two ago. Cory played this game called Mortuary System. After he uploaded it, he got age restricted, saying that he showed something that's for more mature audiences, and they didn't tell him why. So then he privated that video. He was going to upload it again with an intro in the beginning, saying that it's unfair, which I agree. When he uploaded that one, it got age restricted again. Again, not telling them why or anything. His main problem is, this got age restricted when no one else did. So, he decided to appeal it. They doubled down. YouTube basically rejected it. The human reviewer went in, said no, and rejected it. Then he contacted his YouTube rep, saying, I want to know what the problem is. He said he would get back to him. He got back to him. He said it's a part where it talks about, kind of like mental health stuff. I don't want to say it because I don't want mine to just by talking about what it is exactly. He's like, okay. But then he decided he's going to look at another creator video. His first go was Markiplier. He did not want to drag him into this. He did not want to, throw shade at Markiplier. He was just an example he wanted to show. Because, one, he's a big YouTuber, 33 million. And he's also not, African American. So he looked at it. Part 3 has the exact same scene at the end, and his is fine. So then he showed that clip to his YouTube rep, and he said that, I looked at Mark's, his has the same clip I am, but his is fine. So the YouTube rep literally went and said, I'll show this to YouTube and we'll get this resolved. So then they removed his age restriction. His representative was all happy, but then Cory was like, but I had to show you Mark's video to confirm my innocence. Which is very skeptical if you think about it. That they needed someone else's video to claim someone else's innocence when other people also was fine. I don't know. But he wanted to have a talk with YouTube, so he had to talk with them. Then YouTube said, so what YouTube did, they age restrict Cory and Mark both. An action that he didn't expect. But it shows favoritism. But then multiple people talked about it, right? Jacksepticeye made a video, TheGameSalmon made a video, the Kubz Scouts made a video, 8-Bit Ryan made a video, a bunch of people made a video. Some people reacted to Cory's video. It just got the domino effect. But then, 2 days ago, maybe, Jacksepticeye made a video discussing how the issue got worse. So, the way Markiplier decided to go about it is he decided to do this challenge called Try Not to Get Age Restricted. And the whole point was to challenge YouTube into thinking that, just to see if they actually do treat people differently. Turns out that video did not get age restricted once. And it pretty much showed some very mature, it was a game that was very mature. But YouTube didn't age restrict it once. I honestly kept track of it. They didn't age restrict it once, at least what I've seen. So then Jack did that challenge, right? But he did a thing with an eye tracker, I'm pretty sure. But what happened was his video got flagged. Expected, probably, since that was what the video was. But the fact that Mark's in is a red flag, in my opinion. So Jack kept editing the video down to see if they can get the strike away. Or the flag, I guess. But then he decided to test something. The recent one that's up, he decided to appeal the flag. A human reviewer went in, saw that, wait, that is edited down enough, it's fine, it's acceptable, so then they removed the flag. But he took the one that's still the same, he uploaded it again, it got flagged again. As in, the system works is that, even if it's the same video uploaded, it will flag it anyway, even if the previous one was okay by a human reviewer, as in, it's a system that does it. That was a problem with Jack. But then he explained that I watched the game on a bit. I was just as confused as everyone else. So Mark apparently made a segment. It was like an analog horror, because I saw the one that he put on his channel. But apparently it got removed. No warning to him. No warning to the viewers. And he said that I feel bad for him, because him and the people he collabed with, and then Lixie and his editor, worked hard to get it done just for it to be removed without warning. YouTube has 3 problems, 3 strikes so far. Let's just put some community strikes for them. The first one I talked about a little bit. They'll age restrict you or give you a strike and not tell you why. This happened to Cory once before. When he came back, I think, after he hit 10 million, for one thing, he had to tell the YouTube platform that he reached 10 million. Other people, I think, didn't have to, at least they didn't talk about it, but him, he had to reach out to them, which I think is very suspicious, if I should say. Another person, TheGameSalmon, I'm pretty sure, he got an age restriction once, right? They didn't tell him what it was. It was a try not to laugh number 3, I remember. He appealed it, they doubled down, rejected it. Am I surprised? No. Are you surprised? If you are, why? YouTube, they just won't tell you why. So then, he had to basically guess. His guess was wrong, spoiler alert, but he then contacted YouTube services, because I don't think he has a YouTube representative yet, because he hasn't reached the high numbers on the platform like Mark or Cory have. I think it's like maybe 1 million or 10 million, I don't know, I don't myself. But I haven't had these problems, but it makes me worried. He contacted them, and he asked them to at least tell him what it was, or where it happened. Because if they don't tell you what it was or where it happened, how are you supposed to do better? So, they said, okay, we'll get back to you when we get back to you. Or, we'll get back to you when we have the answer. Next message they sent was, how would you rate our services? When they haven't done what they said they would do yet. So then he honestly said, you haven't answered my question. You haven't given me the answer yet. And they were like, oh, sorry about that. We'll come back to you when we get your answer. So then they come back to him and they tell him the exact duration. It was the wrong guess. It was a guess, I think, of like people doing like a prank or trying to do these platformer things, but they fell or something. I mean, I guess kinda, but I don't see why. But the point is, his guess was just wrong. So then the other one is Peanut Butter Gamer. I haven't watched him in a while. But apparently he got an age restriction, I guess like showing like blood or something. I don't know if I have to censor that, do I? It was apparently like, this was another point, but I'll tell it now. Human reviewers. Apparently a human reviewer came in and said, this is age restriction, when all he was doing was eating candy. Then he put it on Twitter, YouTube said, sorry about that mix-up, and they took it away. But the point is, how does a human reviewer think that eating candy is something that's taken as something else? Because the category that they told him was not about candy. It was about something else. But then the human reviewer thing also ties into Jacksepticeye, or Sean, I guess, Sean's story, where his got flagged again after it got okay by a human reviewer when he uploaded it again. As in, there's a computer system doing all of this. Not a human reviewer, even though the thing clearly says a human reviewer looked at this. I don't think so. If I get my channel canceled for this on YouTube, I'm gonna be dead. The second one I kind of talked about a lot. I know I said the first and second point, but you don't have to know that. That they tend to play favorites. And then Cory has this one, arguably racist. I'm not going to touch on that one. It's just something that's kind of been brought up, and it's something that's really suspicious, especially with, like, Cory. Whenever he would reach numbers, all of a sudden they would like, strike him or age restrict him a video or two without any explanation. And it happens after he reaches numbers. Like, when he came back after 9 months, there was a video that got an age restriction, I think. When they didn't notice that after 9 months, but after he got, like, trending, like, #1 on trending once or twice, that's when they noticed it. It took you 9 months plus however long that video was made for you to notice that. Not when he was gone, but when he came back and reached numbers, that's when you decided to do it. For shame. It puts you to shame. Another YouTuber had this problem. Super Horrible Mike. He played this video game. I haven't played it, so I don't know the title of it. It was like a game about llamas. Video got age restricted when no one else's did. So he was like, what the heck? I would be like that too. Especially if, like, it's like if someone, like, played a sport, like basketball or something. Doesn't mean they did it the same way, but they played a sport right. And it was completely okay. But then, all of a sudden, one of them is getting penalized, but the other one isn't when they did the same, when they didn't even do anything. It's just messed up. So I feel like all of these things are just very, very questionable. Like, why things happen the way they do. I just came back from college to record this. Hungry Llama, that was the game. So, all these points about age restrictions happening, no reason, sometimes just happening because of spite or because of favoritism. I feel like that's also a thing here. It makes me honestly afraid as a YouTuber, even though I'm a small one. It's like, what if I make a mistake? And then where I'm a small one, I don't have a representative to help me out with getting it resolved. And then what if it comes down to, like, I get, like, it's just an innocent video. Like, I play, maybe, let me think of one. Kirby, right? Kirby and the Forgotten Island. I play that one. That one's fine. But then all of a sudden, because Kirby tends to eat animals, basically, and stuff, and then they decide to, like, either give me a strike for that, or something. Well, not even tell me why, but let's just say that's the reason. Or they, like, age restrict that, but then other people that play the game are completely okay just because they are more higher on the platform. And then what if it also comes down, I don't think this has ever happened, but then what if it also comes down to this? If favoritism and then arguably racism is liable to happen, what's to say sexism isn't liable to happen? Because, as far as I'm concerned, especially at my high school I used to go to, video games are mostly for males. At least, not mostly for males, but you mostly see males playing them. And then you see females doing other stuff besides that. Or even if they do that, that's not their main, like, interest or choice. So what if it gets to that point where they're sexist because a male played the game, but then a female who played it, it's like they attack them for it, but not the male? I don't know. Or it could be the other way around. You never know. I don't know. But I feel like a lot of changes needs to be made with this. For one, maybe tell people why you got the strike or where it happened. Because if you leave it to the creator to decide, it's not going to end well. Because they won't have the definite answer. So how do you expect them to do better when you don't tell them what to do better? choke on that. And then probably stop playing favorites. If you're gonna do something to one creator, might as well do it to the rest. Like, don't play favorites and do unfairness, because that's not cool. Not cool in the slightest. Just so you know. Then human reviewers, I think that needs to be fixed. I don't think they need to have a system that does this. I feel like if they have a bigger team, they could, like, probably dedicate some people to look at certain content creators and then other people at other ones. Or some. Like, anything better than this. But I don't know, it's just everything is just, I hope it gets better. Then again, it's YouTube. Who says it's gonna get better? I think if we get voices heard out there, it'll make things better. But in the end, all we can truly say is one thing. YouTube, do better.